Most people do not actually have an income problem. They have a structure problem. Because if your money only comes in when you are personally working, then no matter how hard you try, your income is always fragile. The moment you stop, the money stops. That is the trap millions of people live in for years without ever clearly naming it. They work harder. They try to earn more. They chase better opportunities. They push themselves to stay motivated. But underneath all of that effort, the system stays the same. Their income still depends on their constant presence. And that is exactly why the idea of making money while you sleep feels so powerful. Not because it means doing nothing. Not because it means getting rich overnight. And not because it means life suddenly becomes easy. But because it means building something that can keep producing value even when you are not actively trading another hour of your life for it. And that changes everything. It changes the way you think about time. It changes the way you think about money. It changes the way you think about freedom. Because once you understand leverage, you stop asking only one question: how can I work more? And you start asking a much better one: how can I build something that keeps working after I'm done? That is the real shift. And it is one of the biggest differences between people who stay stuck in survival mode and people who gradually build breathing room, flexibility, and long-term financial power. But let's be honest for a second. The phrase "make money while you sleep" has been damaged by years of fake promises, exaggerated marketing, and empty internet fantasies. A lot of people hear it and immediately think of scams, fake gurus, or unrealistic shortcuts. That is exactly why this conversation needs to be handled properly. Because real passive or semi-passive income does exist, but it rarely starts passively. In the beginning, it usually takes work. Real work, thought, planning, testing, patience, and repetition. You build something, you improve it, you position it, you let it grow, and over time, what started as effort can turn into a system. That is the part most people never stay around long enough to experience. They want income without setup, results without consistency, momentum without patience, and that is why they keep starting over. This video is different. We are not talking about fantasy. We are not talking about secret loopholes. And we are definitely not talking about doing nothing and waking up rich. We are talking about 7 real systems that ordinary people can start building if they are willing to think long-term. Some of these systems are simple. Some are creative. Some are slow at first. Some grow faster once momentum appears. But all of them share something important. They move you away from a life where income disappears the second you stop showing up. And if you understand that deeply, this video can change the way you think about work forever. So let's start with the first system, because it is one of the clearest examples of leverage. Number 1, digital products. A digital product is something you create once and sell many times. That could be an ebook, a guide, a workbook, a digital planner, a template, a Notion setup, a checklist, a mini course, a toolkit, or any downloadable resource that helps someone solve a real problem. And that last part is what matters most. Not the format, the usefulness, because people are not really paying for a file. They are paying for a result. They are paying for clarity. They are paying to save time. They are paying to avoid mistakes. They are paying for a shortcut to something that would otherwise take them longer, cost them more energy, or keep them stuck in confusion. That is why digital products are powerful. You are no longer selling only effort that disappears the moment the task is done. You are building an asset, something that can keep being delivered again and again. And the biggest mistake people make here is assuming they have nothing valuable to package. That is usually false. A lot of people know useful things. They just never organize what they know into something other people can actually buy. If you know how to simplify a process, solve a problem, explain a confusing topic, create structure, or help someone move from point A to point B faster, then there is a good chance there is a product hidden inside that skill. And once that product exists, the game changes. You are no longer restarting from zero every time. You improve the product, improve the offer, improve the positioning, improve the marketing. But the core asset is already there. That is leverage. That is effort that stays. And once you understand that, the second system becomes much more interesting. Number 2, affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is simple in theory. You recommend a product, service, or tool. If someone buys through your link, you earn a commission. That sounds easy. And because it sounds easy, most people do it badly. They spam links. They recommend things they do not care about. They copy what everyone else is doing. They try to force sales before they build trust. And then they wonder why nothing works. That is not real affiliate marketing. That is low-quality noise. Real affiliate marketing is built on credibility. It works best when people trust your judgment. When they believe that if you recommend something, there is a real reason, a real use case, a real benefit. That trust can be built through YouTube, through a blog, through an email list, through social media, through niche educational content, through tutorials, comparisons, reviews, breakdowns, or problem-solving content that helps people make better decisions. The core idea is not just attention. It is trusted attention. Because once people trust your perspective, your recommendation stops feeling like an ad and starts feeling like guidance. And that is powerful. Because if one useful piece of content keeps bringing people in, and that content leads them towards something genuinely valuable, income can continue coming in long after the content is published. That is when affiliate marketing starts behaving like a system instead of a hustle. It scales through credibility. And that leads naturally into the third system. Number 3, a monetized YouTube channel. This is one of the most powerful systems on the list because a single video can do several jobs at once. It can bring views, ad revenue, subscribers, affiliate revenue, trust, brand identity, and future opportunity. That is why YouTube is not just content. It can become an asset. But the reason most people fail here is predictable. They misunderstand what they are building. They think they are posting random videos and hoping something works. The people who actually make money while they sleep with YouTube usually think differently. They are not just posting. They are building a library. And that word matters. A library. Because every useful video becomes another entry point, another door someone can walk through, another chance to be discovered, another chance to build trust, another chance to earn. That is why YouTube rewards consistency so much. Not just because the platform likes active creators, but because every useful piece you publish increases the odds that someone finds you when they need what you know. And the more strategically your library is built, the more powerful this becomes. That is why a channel can generate money while you sleep. Not because one upload magically changes everything, but because dozens of useful assets continue working at the same time. That is leverage in action. One day of work does not die after one day. It keeps producing. If the topic is strong, if the execution is good, if the value is real, and if the creator stays consistent long enough, that patience is what most people lack. They upload a few videos, see slow results, get discouraged, and quit right before the system has time to mature. That is why the people who win with YouTube are often not the people who start the fastest. They are the people who continue the longest. Number 4, print on demand. This model is attractive because it removes a lot of friction. You create a design, a customer places an order, a third-party company prints and ships the product. So you do not need inventory, you do not need to package boxes, you do not need to manage a warehouse. That makes it appealing, especially for beginners. But print on demand becomes overrated when people misunderstand what actually makes it work. The easy part is opening the store. The hard part is being memorable. Because generic designs disappear. Weak ideas disappear. Products with no clear emotional identity disappear. What works better is relevance. Taste, identity, specificity. A product becomes stronger when it feels made for someone. Not for everyone. That could be humor, a belief, a niche interest, a lifestyle, a point of pride, a shared frustration, a community signal, something that makes the buyer feel seen. That is when a shirt, poster, mug, or notebook becomes more than an object. It becomes expression. And expression sells better than random decoration. That is why the people who do well in print on demand are often not just uploading designs. They are building emotional relevance. They understand audience psychology. They understand how people want to be perceived. And once that is clear, the business becomes sharper, the system becomes stronger, and the sales become less random. Number 5. Templates, systems, and tools. This one is massively underrated because many people already build useful tools for their own lives and never think to sell them. A budget tracker, a content calendar, a study planner, a workflow dashboard, a client onboarding system, a meal planner, a project template, a business checklist, a Notion workspace, a daily operating system. A lot of these things are more valuable than people realize because people do not only buy information, they buy structure, they buy organization, they buy clarity, they buy momentum, they buy relief. If something makes a messy process simpler, faster, or less stressful, there is a good chance someone would pay for it. That is why this model works so well. It solves a very real pain. Not everyone wants to build their own system from scratch. Most people would rather pay for a clean, useful structure that helps them move immediately. And that is exactly what makes templates and systems so powerful. They save mental energy. They reduce friction. They shorten the distance between intention and action. And when your product does that well, it can keep selling because the problem it solves keeps existing. That is the deeper principle here. The best systems do not just provide information, they remove confusion. And confusion is expensive. That is what makes simplicity so valuable. Number 6. A niche website or blog. A lot of people think this model is dead. It is not dead. It is just not flashy. And because it is not flashy, most people underestimate it. A strong niche website can still generate income through ads, affiliate offers, email funnels, digital products, and services connected to the topic. And the reason this works is simple. Useful written content can continue attracting traffic long after it is published, especially when that content solves problems people are actively searching for. That means one good article can keep bringing visitors months later. 10 good articles can build momentum. 50 strong pieces can become a real traffic engine. And over time, that traffic becomes opportunity. That is why a blog or niche site can make money while you sleep, because search traffic does not care whether you are awake. If the article exists, solves the problem, and ranks well enough, people will continue finding it. This model is slower in the beginning, that is true. But slow does not mean weak. Slow often means compoundable. That is exactly what makes it valuable. It grows quietly, and because it grows quietly, people with short attention spans ignore it. That is why patience becomes an advantage again. The person willing to write useful content consistently for months has a chance to build something that many more impatient people never will. Number 7. Building an audience and monetizing attention. This is the deepest system on the entire list because it powers many of the others. When you build trusted attention in a niche, you build options. You can sell products, recommend tools, launch offers, grow a channel, build a newsletter, start a community, promote services, partner with brands, create recurring income. And that is why attention matters so much. Because once people trust you, monetization stops being random. It becomes strategic. This is where many people get the entire game wrong. They think the asset is the product, or the platform, or the sale itself. But the deeper asset is the relationship. If people trust you, you do not have to start from zero every time. You already have attention. You already have context. You already have a bridge. And that bridge can be used again and again as long as you protect the trust that built it. That is why audience building is so powerful. Not because followers are magical, but because trusted attention creates repeated chances to create value and earn from that value over time. That is leverage at a higher level. Not one product, not one transaction, not one upload, but a growing ecosystem of opportunity built on relevance and trust. And when you step back and look at all 7 systems together, a pattern becomes obvious. None of them are magic. None of them are fully effortless. And none of them make sense if you are looking for instant rewards without building anything real. But all of them can move you away from one dangerous model: a life where income disappears the second you stop working. That is the real problem. Not just making too little, but being trapped in a structure with no leverage, no room, no durability, no system beneath the effort. And once you understand that, the goal changes. It becomes less about chasing fast money and more about building lasting mechanisms. Digital products, affiliate marketing, a monetized YouTube channel, print on demand, templates and tools, a niche website, and trusted attention. You do not need to build all 7. In fact, trying to do all 7 at once would probably slow you down. You need one system that fits your skills, your interests, your patience, your style of thinking. Because the biggest mistake is not starting small. The biggest mistake is staying trapped in a model where your time is the only thing you know how to sell. So choose one system, build it properly, stay with it long enough to learn how it really works. And remember this: money while you sleep is rarely created in one dramatic moment. It is usually built through smart actions repeated long enough to become a real system. That is how leverage is born, quietly, gradually. And then, one day, what used to require your constant effort starts producing without needing your constant presence. That is the shift. That is the freedom. And that is why this matters. If you want more videos on wealth, leverage, mindset, and smart income systems, like this video, subscribe and turn on the bell. And in the comments, tell me which of these 7 systems feels the most realistic for you right now. Because sometimes the first step toward financial freedom is simply realizing that working harder is not always the same thing as building smarter.